Well, hello and welcome to another quick session here at Rindle's Computer Service. So basically, well, it was kind of interesting yesterday. I managed to have my eyeglasses break on me, so I'm currently without those, but oh well. Crap happens, and especially when you're crawling underneath vehicles trying to work on and stuff and figure out why things are the way they are. And I'm not going to get into it. It's kind of dumb and idiotic why it happened. So, enough said about that. Today we have a. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought I misread what I put on the stream title that this was an Acer, but this is actually an Asus laptop that came in, and this one was pretty much dead it in the doornail. This one is a Core i5 second gen. This is a 2011 to 2012 model. It's got the 15-inch screen. It's got USB 3.1 on here. I actually remember working on this one for the person that brought it to me when they first got it. So time or good memories from years ago. So I remember when she first got this thing and she didn't know how to set it up, so she called me over. That was when I was like my second year of high school, maybe. Or maybe I was a senior at the time. But so currently, I believe it has about 6 gigs of RAM. Power supply is shot on here to begin with. She brought it anyway. It's not the power end of the cord that's bad. It's right around here that it broke off. But since the computer's shot, it doesn't really pay to buy another power supply for it. So it's got a rubber dome keyboard in here. It's nothing too unusual. We can't really do a decent review on this thing because one, it's dead, but it was a nice laptop for the time. And out of the 8 to 9 years, it served them well. That was their go-to computer. So we also got HDMI, VGA, family gigabit connector. And on the other side, we have multi-DVD recorder drive, 2 USB 2.0, and your typical 1/8 microphone in your line out or headphone, depending on. And you got the classic gloss glare screen that was real famous back in the earlier eras of laptops. I don't care how much companies at the time guaranteed that these computers would not give you a headache looking at them. In the sunlight, they were terrible. But a lot of modern laptops now, like your Elite HP EliteBooks 8460p's, 8440p's, or 8470p's, or your ZBooks, or your Lenovo ThinkPads, or IdeaPads, or your Dell Inspirons, or laptops, or your Latitudes. A lot of those computers, the technology of the screen has improved dramatically in a decade. But even when laptops came out like 30 years ago, 40 years, like back in the 80s, all it was just a dot matrix style screen with like green phosphorus or orange phosphorus. You didn't even have color pictures. And it's just amazing the technology of the computer or laptop within the last 40 years. It's hard to say that laptops have been around for that long of a stretch. Like laptops from the 80s and that. A lot of them were big, clunky machines that were the size of a small form factor computer or a mini tower. Some of them had huge, ridiculous battery packs on them. Some you still had to plug into the wall, but it was more portable than. In my opinion, those computers from back then, even though they claimed to be portable, but in all honest reality, they really were not that user friendly for traveling to that. Now within an office building, yeah, or your home, yeah, but if you're going to the airport or something, it wasn't easy looking that around. It's not like today's laptops, like, well, even this is kind of lopsided, kind of thick and. But basically, like that MacBook I had sitting here, that's pretty much today's standards. Is they're very thin, and you don't have a lot of weighs less than 5 pounds. That's pretty impressive compared to some of those laptops. Even by the 90s, they started getting more smaller, but they're still chunky looking computers with a very low res solution style LCD liquid crystal display technology. But even that had its limitations. But by the 2000s, that's when things started to change. Started having your Pentium 4s, you started having slightly higher resolution Intel graphics and AMD graphics and NVIDIA and some of the other oddball ones for the time. But then by the by the 2010s, you pretty much everything is either between Intel HD graphics or NVIDIA or AMD graphics. And between processors, it's pretty much typically between Intel or AMD. There's nothing really in between those two competitors. But it's interesting, like consumer grade laptops, they're so difficult to service, you basically got to tear them all apart. But like a business machine, like for instance, like the HP LeapBook 8460 or the 8470 or the 8560 or 8570 or the ProBook 6560 or that certain series, it was pretty much a tools assembly, if you get my gist. It was basically, well, if you go online and you look, you basically got two tabs on the bottom that you push one way and one the other way, and then you can slide the cover off and you have access to your RAM, hard drive, CPU, heatsink fan. And the only thing that really had screws was the hard drive caddy. So that's really, for a LeapBook, that's not bad. But then when they changed the model numbers down to lower set numbers, then they went back to originally they started out with the screw was on the bottom, and then they ended up going back to the multi cover setup. And actually, I think that was kind of dumb because personally, I kind of liked the way the 8460s and 8470. I like that setup. Because for a while, not recent years, but that was like 2-3 years back when I was working with the pastor at the Manitowoc. Now, it wasn't a full blown repair shop. That was just something that we kind of started together. But that only lasted like maybe 3 months. But within that 3 months, I worked on so many different elite books, either between 8460s and 8470s with him. Now, he did a lot of work too in that. We basically learned from each other. There were certain things that he wasn't sure of, and then there were certain things I wasn't sure of, and between the two of us, we pretty much bounced off of each other as far as, and between the two of us, we pretty much collabed pretty well together. But unfortunately, I was in a business deal with him, and basically made a few mistakes. And unfortunately, I went my separate ways, and he went his separate ways. And just basically, I don't even know where he is now or what he's doing. I know his big dream was to open a ministry, but that's another day for another dollar, I guess, as they call it. But actually, so even if you did have to tear the elite book down, you don't really have to disassemble the whole thing. Now, if you're going to replace the screen, yeah. But out of all of them that I did and all of them that he did, you never really had to replace any screens on them. Those things are built so well that basically they're meant for. Well, the elite books were meant for the factory floor in the industrial setting, because they wanted a laptop that was rugged enough that when they were carrying it from place to place, that it wasn't going to crack on, it wasn't going to break. And HP made a very decent computer for the time. But unfortunately, a lot of the newer ones now are having more problems than the computers. A lot of the newer computers are having issues with, like the elite books, like Generation 4, Generation 3. And it's a shame that HP builds them as crappy as they do. But I guess there's not a lot you can do about it. You'd like them to do a better job of manufacturing it. But HP's legacy is pretty much done. They had something good going for a while, but then when you start manufacturing junk, then what does it tell you? Now, not everything that they manufacture is complete crap. Even for a while, their HP, I never really was a fan of their Pavilion computers. I always liked their DC 5100s, 5150s, DC 5700s, 5800s, 5750s. I like their DC 7900s, 7800s. Those are really nice machines. Sure, they're very box-like and very mediocre looking, but they're workhorses of computers. And you could even do minor video editing on the AMD one or version of the PC. So you can't really complain. The quality about a decade and a half ago wasn't bad. And then even the 6005 and the 6000 Pro and the Elite version, or the 8000 and the 81, they were not bad computers either. I had a 6000 Pro. That was with the Core 2 Dual. The only reason I got rid of that one was, which is kind of a foolish reason now because I kind of liked. But I'd want the 60. If I was going to buy another one, I would get the 6005 version of that one. So basically, then once that line ended, then they had their 6200 and their 8200 Elites. Well, 62 is a Pro, and 8200 was the Elite. Those are not bad computers at all. Those are solid workhorses. As long as you put the right RAM in there, you don't mismatch from like 12800 to 10600, then it is perfectly fine. There's no problems. The only ones that I've had a lot of problems with were the Elite 8300s. I like the computer, but I'm not wild about some of the quirks that have shown up over time of using them. I don't know, maybe I just had somebody sold me a bad bunch of them. I don't have all of them anymore. Some of them bit the dust, they died, so I scrapped them. And even though the Pro 6300s, I haven't used Pro 6300s long enough to determine the quality, but I'm sure to give it an honest review of it, I would actually have to have one for a while and use it just to kind of. The only one I've used was the 6300 or 6305, and it was pretty much a trouble-free computer from day one. So I'm sure that the 6305, that's definitely a good one. And so far, the Elite 800 or Elite Desk 800 Generation 1 has been very trouble-free so far, because I just bought two of them from a local technical college. I would like to get my hands on the next generation of Elite books from that college. I need to get in contact with them again and see if they will. Funny thing is, they don't answer their phone, they don't answer their email. So I almost got to go there in person, but next time I go, I should bring a cart. carrying all that stuff. So we're not going to keep it too long here. We're here to do the stream now instead of later. So thank you for watching. And before we conclude, so basically with the Asus laptop that's sitting here, the only thing I really have to do with it is just pull the drive out of it, which I've already done so, and just copy the files off of pictures. And then I got just got this drive here that we have to copy, and then that should be done. We only got about 15 hours to go worth of content on the drive. And I'm thinking if that one's going to be 15, that'll probably be at least 5 hours minimum. So thank you for watching. God bless. Y'all stay safe. Enjoy the weather. Enjoy the sunshine. And we'll see you. Well, I guess it doesn't want me to end. All right, let's see what's going on here. Apparently, my YouTube stream is being live or hijacked here because I can't seem to shut it off. It's not giving me that option. So, I don't know. This is a first. But then again, my computer's running so catawonky. I'm going to have to terminate one of the programs here and see why it's not working. I'm not even sweating this computer one bit, and it's acting as if it's... No. Computer's totally locked up. All right. Task manager.